since you put my business out there, I was confiding in a homie, talking about my stress.
I had receipts. That was the problem. Is I was like, I knew you were gonna come on here and talk about this, so I was like, let me pre-talk about this, so you don't seem as wild when you come over here and start saying the things you're saying.
All right, first things first.
You said the word incompetent.
I did. First things first.
You know you said that word.
Yes, I did. Okay, first things first, bro. Screw Southwest.
They got
Southwest,
good
you
egg
dead
rolls
to me.
though.
Southwest, you dead to me.
They got good egg rolls though.
I don't know. They literally.
Oh wait, that's Southwest egg rolls. Just a type of egg rolls.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah,
egg rolls
no,
made
no,
by
no.
Southwest.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, bro. Literally, the snacks like Southwest, like mid-flight, they come through with like the pack of peanut or like the pack of like trail mix, and then they were like, "What you want to drink?" And I was like, "Can I get a ginger ale?" Because I get motion sick, so I gotta be like, "Can I get a ginger ale to like kind of soothe my tummy?"
You can't just be like a real man and be like, "Let me get a Jack and Coke, so I don't have to fucking deal with these people."
No, I will throw up.
You're so wild, dog. God, dude. Every day that you say things to me, I'm like, how the fuck you would not have survived in real Mexico? Like you would not have survived in what's going on in tequila or whatever it is right now. Why did I say tequila?
Oaxaca?
It's over there by San Diego. What's that border?
Tijuana?
There we go.
Bro, all right.
Over there, that place is going insane. They're having crazy border wars. It's a whole thing over there, and I don't think you'd survive truly.
Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, back to my story. Oh, yeah. And then when they bring you the drink, it's like, they don't even give you the can. It's like a little plastic cup.
Yes. I've flown Spirit. I know what it's like to not have
This is Southwest.
I mean, who was the one they just partnered with? I don't know if it was Jet. I don't know which one, but Spirit just combined with another airline to become like the biggest
crappy airline. Let's just be
the biggest crappiest airline.
Let's just be the most mediocre. You might as well drive.
Honestly, like most of the time that I've traveled, I've gone Spirit, and when I haven't, I've gone United. Those have been the two airlines I've flown. My little time of flying.
My dream airline is now Delta.
Well, Frank Ocean talked about Delta.
Is it bad? I heard it.
It sounded good. He goes. There's the line where in one of the songs he goes something about Delta gift cards.
Okay.
That he had and he was just handing out.
Regardless, all right. So we pull up to George Bush. We Uber there.
Okay.
Because this flight also was it was supposed to leave at 7 p.m. So that means we had to leave our apartment right in the middle of rush hour. So the Uber ride was like $50 to get there.
Damn. Yeah, that's a rough one.
And so we get there.
You should have gone 2 hours earlier.
So be there like 4 hours ahead of time?
No. To be there 2 hours ahead of time.
I did. We left at like 5.
Damn. So and there was still hella traffic at that time?
Bro, that's peak rush hour.
5 a.m.
PM. This is all PM.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. I was like, I'd be on the road at 6. Ain't no one on the road.
No, this is all PM.
Actually, I don't. I'd be on the road at 7. But
this is all Hey, bro, what if they listening?
Oh, they see my trackers, dog. What you talking about?
All right.
They be seeing me out in these streets.
PM. So that's peak.
All right. It is very peak.
All right. So we, we're talking to the Uber. He's a pretty nice guy. Tells us he's a chef. He's done cocaine. We didn't ask for any of this information. He just gave it to us.
Okay. I'm on cocaine right now, to be honest with you. How you think
I mean, we were basically like, oh, word.
Hey, y'all cool? There was a Tom Segura story where his driver's like, talking to him, and he's like, hey, you want to smoke? It's like, you're driving me.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No.
But continue. That's why anyway, I felt like he was about to be like, hey, y'all need a line before y'all get on this plane?
Literally. So we get to the airport. He drops us off. But he was super nice. Check our bags, whatever. We go through TSA. And then we get to the southwest part of the airport, which is like the crappiest part of the airport too. And we're sitting there, we're waiting like normal. So the issue was it was gonna be a one stop. So we had a layover in Nashville and then Destin. So that's how our flight was set up. And the layover was granted an hour-long layover. But at the same time, it's like Southwest, if you're gonna need more time, then don't create this route, you know?
Yeah.
So the plane's there, and they come on in and they're like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have a delay. Like the plane's here, the people are about to come out, but like there's something wrong with the door." And then we're like, "Okay, whatever." So they just keep pushing it back. They keep pushing it back, and then Navarre's like, "I don't think we're gonna make our connecting flight." So she first goes up there and talks to him, and then she calls me over. And then I like see it in her face when she calls me over, and I'm like,
fuck.
Yeah.
When they call you over to deal with something you weren't ready to deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're ever like, fuck, now's the time that I said all these crazy ass things in the vows.
Yeah.
Like, I said all these things that I was going to do through thick and thin, and it's just looking real thin right now.
So I get up there, and then the lady's like, "Yeah, so by the time you guys land, your other connecting flight would have left. So yeah, I just wanted to, so you guys know what you want to do." She was like, we can basically give you reschedule for tomorrow, and yeah, you would just leave tomorrow. And I was like, "Well, hold on. We have like hotel reservations. Like we're gonna lose a night at our hotel, and then tomorrow we have other reservations that we're gonna lose." And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do." She gave me like a $200 voucher for next flight, and I was like, "You think I want to fly you again? Like I don't want this." And she was like, "There's nothing else I can do." And she was like, "Well, maybe like I can get you closest to Destin. Do you know like the nearest city to Destin?" And I was like, "You work here. Why are you asking me? You got the maps, don't you?"
I mean, we got Google Maps though.
Dog, no. Don't tell me. You're the biggest Karen here.
I know.
Don't tell me. If she were to tell you, "Do you know the nearest city near Destin?" You would have exploded.
No, I get it. If she basically told me, "Yeah, Google that shit."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Bitch, don't you have a database?
Yeah,
exactly. Can't you look?"
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where airports are.
Exactly.
God.
Thank you.
I'm like, you're going to have me their nearest airport to Destin. And they'll be like, Destin. Besides Destin.
Yeah, and then it'll be like, Destin again. Yeah, so then, motherfucking, it like...
Did y'all find the nearest airport to Destin?
Well, so then they had to pull our bags, and then the guy's like, "All right, guys, make a decision. Are y'all leaving tomorrow or today?" So we would have left... I was like, okay, if we leave today... They were like, "Okay, we found out I found out, not they, we found out that we could either fly to Pensacola or Panama City, but then it's an hour drive to Destin, and we would land at midnight." And I was like, "Okay, could you guys arrange a ride for us to get to Destin?" And they're like, "No, Southwest wouldn't want to be liable if something happened to you guys on the way from Pensacola to Destin." And I was like, "Who can I talk to besides you guys?" And they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to call the Southwest Airlines number." And I was like, "Can you give it to me?" And they're like, "We have to look it up." No, basically like fuck off and like go Google it.
God damn it!
So dude,
they were so unhelpful.
I was shaking. I was so upset. And then
how's Elvira acting through all this? Is she just like waiting for you to Karen out?
No, she was actually like.
Cool, calm, and collected?
No, she was very much like, she didn't want, like, she was just upset that this was happening and, like, didn't want it to ruin. She, like, actually didn't want me to be mad. And I was like, "No, this is unfair. Like screw this, bro. Like, no." So we get our bags. We decided we're going to leave the next day. So I call Southwest Airlines, and then the person answers. And I'm like, "Hey, I explained the situation. I was like, somebody's gonna have to refund me some money. Like, I don't want this voucher. Like, why would you offer me this? Like, why would I trust you guys to take me anywhere after this?" And the person I talked to was like, "Yeah, so because of COVID, Southwest got rid of their customer service that used to do this kind of stuff for people. So you're gonna have to send an email."
God damn.
And I was like, "I'm not sending an email." And then
It's just one email, dog. You per my last email.
and no. I was like, I'm not sending an email. And then I was like, can I talk to like a manager, somebody above you? And then they were like, sure, but
Damn, you asked for a manager.
I did.
You know, it's just another person with another voice that's acting like a manager, right?
Yeah, I could tell. And then, so I was on hold for an hour to get to this manager. And I told the manager, I was like, I've been on hold for an hour. You expect me to think that an email is going to do anything?
And then what did he say?
And then
what did they?
I got this person to agree Southwest sucks. Because I was like, look, I don't mean to be rude to you. Like I'm upset. Like, but this isn't out on you. Like, your company is obviously like not treating their customers correctly, and it's even worse that you guys have to deal with us upset. But I was like, yeah. So, she basically sent the email on my behalf. So we're gonna wait and see.
So y'all don't even know y'all got no closure on this.
No, well, some, but Southwest, cover your ears. So the hotel was cool enough, gave us a night back. I actually have to follow up. On that. And then the reservations that we had were massage reservations that I didn't know about. It was like part of my gift. But we were just able to reschedule because like their policy was if you canceled before 24 hours, you were gonna charge the full
Damn
charge. Yeah. So luckily we were able to reschedule and still enjoyed it. And but I had a super Ayo moment at the massage parlor or the massage place or the spa. It's really more of a spa.
What happened?
Okay, so it was at a resort where the spa was super nice, like top of the line. Like I was like, geez, man, who are we? But because of the whole Southwest fiasco, we had to reschedule, and they were like, okay, the only times we have available for that day, it's gonna have to be a male masseuse and a woman masseuse. Are y'all cool with that? And I was like, we have to be cool with it. Like we have no choice.
What was the original thing?
I think it was gonna be like just 2 women.
Okay.
So I was like, sure, because I don't want to lose. You know, we can't lose this. Yeah. So, so we just agreed, and then I'm thinking, and this freaking happened on our honeymoon too, where the spa at our resort was like, yeah, right now we only got a guy and a girl, and at that time I had to take one for the team, bro. I had to be like, all right, I'll take the guy, because like it's a compromising situation. Okay, it's a compromising ass situation because you either let some rando touch your wife, or you got some dude touching you.
I mean, you need a deeper tissue, dog. I mean, if you need more force, and I mean, here's the thing: is if as long as you already know that it's not one of those places where
where
you're gonna get something,
where it's gonna be
else,
actually Ayo,
where you're gonna lead to something Ayo. Then at least you know that it's gonna be this dude.
Here's where it gets like funny and like a little Ayo. So it was dope. Like they take us to this they're like, okay, here's the locker room. Here's like the woman locker room. Here's the guy locker room. And then you put on this robe that they provide for you that's super comfortable and soft. And then you get into this like lounge space where you wait. Bro, they had free coke. Well, it ain't free. You paid for it. But it was complimentary coconut water. Bro, I took like all of them. And all these snacks and like all these stuff. Yeah, we literally drank them all.
You're like, oh, these are all for us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, yeah, take whatever you want, you know. So we took them all. And then so they come and they start the massage or whatever, and the dude's like, hey man, because he was like, is there anything you want me to work on? And I was like, yeah, I get a lot of knots on my back, and I'm kind of upset because I feel them coming back now, but on my shoulders and like down my lower back, I get like knotted up pretty gnarly, and so he's like working it, and then he goes, hey man, they're pretty bad, so I'm gonna go a little harder to try to get these out. He's like, if I go too deep, let me know it's too deep. And I was like, hey yo,
dog, yo,
this man,
whoa,
this man,
pause,
no,
all the way pause,
yes, bro, but I'm already on the table.
You're like, bro, how deep you planning to go?
Yeah.
How much you working with?
Yeah, and then I was like, bro, this man almost broke my neck, and I was like, I can't say anything. And then in my head, I like wanted to laugh because I was like, bro, we need a different safe word. Like, I'm not saying that.
You're not saying, yo, too deep.
Yeah.
Pull out.
Yeah. So dude, literally, I've never been more stressed during a massage.
You should have just let homegirl have the guy, and then, you know what I mean? Y'all should have just couple swapped.
No, and then I go, he was like massaging my hips, right? Like, cause they like try to like loosen everything. And then I asked Elvira, I was like, yeah, did your massage try to like, but I said, I didn't say hip, I said butt. And then she goes, what? No. And I was like, hey, yo.
You're like, yo, the inner thigh like massage was sick, right?
Yeah,
You're like, what are you talking about?
She's like, what are you talking about?
You didn't get the inner thigh. They told me it's like, if I feel weird about it, just say something.
Yeah.
And I mean,
but like, how can I be homophobic?
Dude, did you just call your girl gay, dog?
No.
Bro, that's disrespectful, dog.
No.
And then you sent her off with that woman on top of that? You wildin', bro.
Oh, wow.
You wildin'. And then I heard that like when you're trying to hit a man and see a man topless, which was what you were doing, even the stick is gay.
Oh, you're just referencing the song. Okay, I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the song. You were like, did I tell you about that? You're like, what happened? Did I? But let's get into the show. Let's start the show. We have a lot of topics to get into. I appreciate you telling us about your Karen moment. There's more to come. You're gonna get better at it. You're gonna understand like corporate numbers right off the bat. Like you're gonna have it's gonna be a whole thing.
I think it helped that I was wearing Lululemon shorts.
Probably. I will get you the booklet, the Karen workbook that I have, and we'll go through it. But let's start the show. Two, one. Welcome to the 2.5 Citizens Podcast. I'm Zen.
And I'm Karen, allegedly.
I also had to do that by myself last episode, which felt uncomfortable. It felt so stale.
Yeah.
It felt so like lackluster, like it didn't feel full enough. But yeah, so it's good to have like, you know, harmonies now. We had Marlo last week. Check that out. It's always fun when we have Marlo on the podcast.
Yeah,
go check out his show if it hasn't already passed at Natsuo, which is Houston backwards on Wednesday. But as we were getting into things, also you wearing Lululemon shorts while you were Karening reminds me of the time that I Karened out at Popeye's employees, and then afterwards I looked at myself in the mirror to realize I was wearing a pink Tommy visor. And I was like, God damn it, because you know how my hair gets.
Yeah.
I was probably moving around, getting all... and my hair was probably like flapping around in this visor. Like I looked at myself and I was like, how the fuck?
I look crazy.
No wonder no one fucking took me seriously in this establishment. I'm like, I look fucking wild. I was heading to the beach just so that I'm not just randomly wearing visors. I was heading to the beach, but I was like, damn, I look ridiculous. And I thought that I was really like doing something with this Karen moment. So sometimes you got to look at yourself and realize what you're wearing. Sometimes you got to realize what you're doing, but
you either let it empower you or...
Oh, I took it as white privilege.
Yeah.
I use it as white, but I mean, like...
Yeah. Bro, I was wearing, like, a quarter sip, like a workout quarter sip with Lulu shorts. I really did take it as
what kind of
white
plain
privilege.
outfit is that?
Well, it could get a little cold, so, you know.
No, I wear hoodies. Honestly, I'm so ghetto when it comes to the airport. I'm wearing most of my clothes on me.
Because you fly Spirit, dog.
Okay, I can fit. My bag always fits in the little thing.
All right, but I guess before we get into our main topic, I asked you when we got here if you've seen Mo.
I am actually way more ahead than you as I'm looking at my Netflix search history.
That doesn't matter right now.
So let's get into the idea of what Mo is. So Mo is a show by Mo Amer, the comedian from Houston, Texas. A-Leaf, more specifically.
Yeah, more specifically A-Leaf.
And basically, he is Palestinian, and that type of group of people gets mistaken with Hispanics a lot. Mexicans more specifically. Him and I have very similar looking. We're big dudes with beards.
Yeah.
I get confused for not Mexican also. So,
Yo, if you look like you could work at a hookah bar.
for real.
Yeah.
Especially because I wear gold and shit. Like, that's the problem is, like, Mexicans will wear a big medallion.
Yeah.
But, like, I wear, like, gold glasses and, like, stealthier gold, which is, like, more Middle Eastern, it seems like.
Yeah.
When I see people or whatever. So, I'm watching the show, and come to find out, he has the scene where he gets shot. And I'm like, wait a minute.
I recognize that.
That's my food town.
That's your food town.
I stopped going to food town because I've evolved past that.
That's right.
But-
and we realized that they're just scamming people.
Yeah, like certain things like chicken legs will be cheaper, but then everything else is a little more expensive.
Yeah.
And you think that it's supposed to be cheaper and it's just cheaper quality.
And according to Mo, you could get shot there.
Obviously, apparently you can get shot there. So, I'm like, that's my food town. And then I'm looking, I'm like, wait, that's my Richmond ghetto area. Wait, what the fuck? And I'm noticing that this is all just about what I claim, my area. You know, I be A-Leaf. I've been claiming A-Leaf lately since this show came out. Because if you really think about it, and I could be wrong. I could be super wrong. Do you know anybody who popped out of HISD?
No.
Like, Chameleonaire and Paul Wall came out of Sci-Fair because they went to Jersey Village. Riff Raff came from Langham Creek, which is still Sci-Fair.
Yeah.
And Mo came from A-Leaf, which is A-Leaf School District. Megan, I think, also came from A-Leaf because
she did.
Travis Scott came from Mo City.
Which is like barely Houston, but we still claim
still,
yeah.
Which is not. I don't know about anybody coming out. I don't know where Beyonce went to, but I'm not seeing anybody really popping off from the HISD area.
Yeah.
So leads me to believe school districts matter. By the way, Max O'Cream also A-Leaf.
Yeah, and what was it?
Ali Sadiq also.
The Brockhampton dudes. They were like from the Woodlands.
Ali Sadiq also A-Leaf.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on with A-Leaf, but it's breeding people.
Tobe,
yeah,
he's from A-Leaf.
Okay, he was in the show too, right?
Yeah.
My dad's been really into his tiny desk.
Bro, his tiny desk is amazing.
Which is cool and stuff, but like my dad likes to play things a lot. Like a lot.
Like overplay.
Yeah, like he plans to play them until he can no longer stand them anymore. And usually his tolerance of not being able to stand it is way more than mine.
Yeah.
I'm fucking over it. I'm done with this shit. I'm like, we've heard this so many times. And that's with me. Imagine how many times you've just heard it by yourself. I'm like, I don't know how many times you're going to play this, but go off.
But
it's a vibe.
I will say, if you grew up in Houston, if you're a Houstonian at heart, this is a show for you.
Right.
Like, real Houstonians will, like, watch this and be like, damn.
Be like, damn, you're right. That is kind of like the vibe that we put out here. The things that we're dealing with, the strip club culture.
The swangers.
Right.
The selling shit out of the trunk.
The women empowerment. Women owning businesses.
The being too broke to go to, like, a Verizon or AT&T, and you just go to, like, the Boost Mobile.
And they're all over the place. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, like...
And I love that he wasn't in, like... There was no... Because there's obviously nice parts of Houston, but he didn't go to River Oaks. He didn't go to Memorial.
I was like, yo, that's West Park Tollway.
Yeah. Yo, is that Bissonnette?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, whoa. Like the Richmond strip clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All of the merch that he's wearing is like old Houston merch that was cool.
Yeah.
Like that you see people wearing all the fucking time here.
Yeah.
Like
He did look hella Mexican, though, with those Houston shirts.
But that's just the way he looks and comes around out here. He speaks Spanish for some reason.
Because he grew up with it. Bro, did you not pay attention to the first special I showed you?
I did.
He's like, they put him in So when he came from Kuwait, they put him in ESL. And he was like, I was the only one that actually spoke English in this fucking class.
So that is the thing is here, language-wise, it's either Spanish or English.
Yeah.
If anything else, you better figure it the fuck out.
Yeah,
There ain't no signs. Because part of me, and this has been a big thing. This has been a big thing.
I feel like unless you're... Well, because you got to understand, though, the Richmond area, too, is very, like, Middle Eastern, Indian, before you get to, like... Before you get to...
Westheimer's getting that way, too. But
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. What I mean is, like, yeah, you have places for that. But
Yeah, you got the little pockets.
But in America, and I don't know why we do this, but we translate most things into Spanish.
You know, it's the most effective way to get someone on the phone when you call a customer service line.
Speak Spanish?
Yeah. They just get you somebody. You don't have to go through the, is it for this? Is it for that? Is it for this? Is it for that?
They just get you to a Spanish-speaking person, and then they'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. And then I just switched to English. I heard a comedian talk about this.
And you tried it?
And I tried it, and then I just switched to English.
Because most of the time they speak both.
Yeah.
But I never thought about that. But what I'm saying is, like, out in the streets, you can get away not knowing... if you speak Spanish, you can get away with not knowing English. Yeah. Everything's going to be pretty much translated for you, which I also think is, like, enabling people to stay speaking Spanish. But, like, if you're speaking, like, Mandarin and shit, fucking good luck. You need to figure that shit out. Because it's not going to be easy for you to just kind of figure your way around.
Well, there's certain streets in like Bel Air.
Okay, you have to stay in one street.
You have to literally be in Bel Air.
You have to be in just Bel Air. I'm saying like you're.
And I don't even know what language that is.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. And it could we could be racist. It could be the wrong Asian.
You're the one that said a language. I just said.
I said Mandarin, which is Chinese.
Yeah. Could be Cantonese. I don't know.
But it could be. They could be in a Korean area, Vietnamese area. They could have been on Long Point. They could have been on the Chinese street and then taken a left onto... I don't know why I went right. Taken a left on...
Hey, yo! Is that social commentary?
Taking a left onto like a Vietnamese street. All of a sudden they fucking lost. It's probably why they don't know how to drive around here. They're just trying to read signs and can't.
Hey, yo!
I was just talking about people in... the Bel Air area, not any specific group of people, just people in Bel Air. I think people in Bel Air don't know how to drive because all the signs are confusing. You don't realize what language you're looking at anymore. Sure. I don't want to single out a single group of people or anything. Yeah. Wild of you to accuse me of something like that.
You would just say, like, even I get confused.
Yeah. I'm not even going front. I'm not embarrassed. I went over a curb in one of those areas. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck?
What is it about the area here?
Yeah, I'm like, I drive all day. I'm like, I should know how to do this.
Bro, but my favorite area, bro, it would have to be... You say your favorite street is Westheimer, but if I were to have a favorite street in Houston, it'd have to be Long Point. Because it's just so funny to have that many Hispanics and Koreans in one place.
I feel you. My thing with it is that, like, it's almost cheating to say Westheimer because which part of Westheimer?
It's like, so long, yeah.
There's this Westheimer, there's Midtown Montrose Westheimer, there's Galleria Westheimer, there's like a million sections of Westheimer where things are popping. So it's literally almost unfair to be like, yeah, pretty much all the cool spots in Houston.
Do you claim the gay Westheimer or which one?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if there's a thing as reverse gentrification.
It is. We're part of it.
We ungate it. I don't know what happened.
Oh, you made it straight?
We made it straight because I remember...
put it through the camp?
We shock therapied Montrose because it used to be like hella gay. Yeah. And like we've kind of taken the stigma back by like putting bro bars and stuff like that. Yeah. And like, I don't know. We just straightened it up. We straightened it. Yeah. We like threw some braces on that shit.
Yeah. Talked about Jesus.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but...
Shock therapy.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I don't see it as a gay spot anymore. Like, when's the last time, like, you... Other than the area where there's literal rainbow crosswalks and there's, like, 3 gay clubs. I've never seen that in
Houston.
You haven't seen the rainbow crosswalks?
No.
Bro, what the fuck? You know what? It's almost worrying me. Yeah. Like, you're afraid to be around the gay areas because you might get infiltrated.
No, bro. How can I be homophobic?
I don't know, dog. Something tells me that you're not homophobic because you gay.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like, my thing is you're like, damn, if I'm here, then I might like... Because also, let's keep it a buck. If you're in a gay club, you're getting hit on.
I've been in gay clubs.
And have you not gotten hit on?
No, I don't think so. I remember it was in high school. It was like the only one that, like, you could get into. Remember? Well, I forgot what it was called.
Blur?
Yeah. That was the only one that would let you in if you were 18.
Yeah. You're right. I actually like going to gay clubs. I've been on this thing lately, dude.
Wait, I got a beef with Wonder Bar.
What's your beef with Wonder Bar?
Elvira and I were wearing dunks, and they didn't let us in. But Hunter was wearing blazers, and he got in.
So,
and then there's people with like dusty Vans, and they got in.
Racists. I hate a place that won't let me in with tennis shoes. Like I hate a place.
No. It wasn't the fact that it was tennis shoes. He's like, we don't. He basically listed all the cultural shoes. He's like, yeah, you can't get. Like the bouncer was like, yeah, if you got Tim's on, Jordans on, Dunks on, and I forgot what else he said. He's like, you're not allowed in.
That is wild.
And I was like,
so no black people?
Basically,
because they're like,
but he was black himself.
Dusty New Balances, you fine. Dusty Vans, you fine. Hoka Ones, you good.
Hoka's on Claws, you good.
Yeah, like you good. But Jordans, step away.
What's them slip-ons that white people wear to go fishing or just
Berries?
Out? No.
Crocs?
No, like it's like they're called something. They're like very specific. They're kind of chunky. Look like.
I don't know. We're not about a Sanook.
Is it Allbirds or something like that?
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Bro,
I'm not in that whiteness.
If I showed it to you, you'd be like, yes.
Probably. But yeah, any place that doesn't let me in when I'm wearing Jordans, I don't go to anymore. Like it's just a wrap for that place.
Yeah.
But I swear I was like onto something that I was about to say. Oh, I have been on this thing lately where like I'm the only dude with a group of girls at these places. And I feel responsible. Shit's fucking stressful as shit.
Yeah.
Like I went to like a group of bars a weekend ago or something like that. And as I'm leaving the club, I'm counting my bitches, just like making sure.
Hey,
like,
yo.
I'm just trying to make sure I got everybody.
I love how respectfully.
Yeah. But here's the thing too, is like I'll be sitting off to the side and they'll just be dancing, having a good time. And then a dude will approach.
Bro, that's the worst.
So then I'm looking at them, like glancing at them, just like, let me know when you need something. Because some of those girls are like single or cheating. So like, I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to like intervene and be like, hey, yo, chill the fuck out talking to my bitches and shit like that, right?
Respectfully. Yeah.
So I'm like giving them the look. And this happened at one place.
Yeah.
And I'm giving them the look. And then like, at a certain point, I can see the tenseness of like these girls kind of being like,
okay,
when is this dude going to stop talking to us?
Yeah.
And then I walk up there and literally, I don't know why it happened. It's so easy for me, but you knock on wood, it still stays that easy. I just walk up
and the second
I walked up, the girls felt freed and they fucking took off. Like the girls that were feeling uncomfortable, as soon as I walked up, they bolted. And then the dude's just there, chickless. And he just looks at me, and we just like make eye contact. I'm like, sup, bro? And then he just goes, sup, man? Like, what time this place open till? Like, he just starts having a conversation with me because he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, no, this place closes at 2, but down the street, right around the corner, you see the neon lights. They open till 4. Oh, for real? They're popping right now? Yeah, they're popping right now. Go get you some, dog. I bet. And he hits his homeboy up and they dip. He had no idea what the fuck to do. He had no idea what to do. Once there was another guy there and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So, bro. Luckily, it's so easy. I literally just have to walk up in most situations and then like it's a wrap. It's all good.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, hey, what's up? What you up to? And then they'll be like, oh, I get it. I'll be like, all right, I understand. Right. But it seems like a lot to me. I'm just like, yo, am I responsible for all these girls? Like, girls should not be going out by themselves, it seems like. It's mad dangerous out in these streets. We're going to take a break and then get into a few other topics, some of which are going to be a little wild. So in the lieu of just talking about things in the city and going out and how dangerous it could be, there's been a big story that was sweeping through the TikToks and Reels. And it was a story...
But preface, if you do remember, we ranked the Houston Mall, so go catch that episode if you want to hear.
So the Willowbrook area, a.k.a. Willowbrook, a.k.a. You turn around, don't drown, is... home to a few...
R.I.P. Shannon's.
So this happened right around that area. So right around the area where Shannon Street Waves, the infamous skate shop / eventually secondhand like thrift, vintage, streetwear place, has the shopping center with a few different bars and stuff around there. Prospect Park, Willowbrook being one of the biggest ones. So the story goes, a woman and her husband were going to celebrate her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
They were planning to get together with a big group of people at a spot of some sort. Before that, they stopped at Prospect Park, Willowbrook to grab a bite to eat. It was Taco Tuesday.
Sure.
They go, they eat, they probably have a few drinks or something, maybe like a drink or something because they're getting ready to go to the spot.
Mm-hmm.
She leaves, they leave, and on the passenger door handle, there's a crumpled up napkin inside the door handle where you'd pull it to open it. She has long nails, so she grabs it with her nail and tosses it. She didn't think much of it, didn't know what it was. Maybe her
it had that monkey
there. We don't know what it had, but basically she opens the door, and after like 5 minutes, her fingers start feeling real tingly and numb. And then it starts going like to the rest of her body, and she starts real panicking, and she's feeling these hot flashes, and she's feeling very uncomfortable, and they're not familiar with this area, so they call 911 to basically be like, where is the nearest hospital so like we can take her. They get her into the emergency room, find that she got an acute poisoning of some sort. Whatever it is, and this has been the same thing that I've heard with other people that have dealt with this type of poisoning that they don't know what's going on, is that the other situation happened with a business card, is that there wasn't enough poisoning for it to be identified in the test that they ran. So it's like, if it somehow this isn't being detected, this poison, unless it's a large amount, and by the time it's probably a large amount, you're probably done, because these people have had such crazy reactions to this poison of whatever. So seemingly, if you're dealing with that, it was like a kidnapping attempt or something like that. But that's what's been happening and talked about in just our city alone here in Willowbrook. It's been sweeping the streets of like being wary of now this idea that people could just put poison on anything and you can grab it. Think about how many times people put cards on your window.
Yo, I always but that's I don't want to say, I don't want to say it's littering because they made it fall on the floor because they put it on my car.
Right, but what happens when you grab it to do that and you throw it? And that's all it is.
Facts.
And so that's just a crazy thing that we need to be aware of out here.
Bruv. Yeah. I've never been more stressed in an Uber than last night.
You were in an Uber last night. What happened?
So we call an Uber after we went to dinner, got some drinks with some friends, and then we call the Uber and we're looking for it, and it says that it's right in front of us, but the car is supposed to be a BMW, but the car in front of us is a Ford with paper plates.
Yo, the paper plate wave.
And I was like, so I called and then the guy like messaged me in Spanish. He's like, I'm here. And I was like, where are you? And he's like, in front of the place where you're at. And then I call him and I hear the blinkers because he's got like the like both of them on.
Yeah.
And I see that the Ford, the emergency lights. And then I see the Ford has emergency lights. Okay, so I'm like, okay, that's him in there. And I tell her, I was like, what do you want to do? Like, you want to cancel it or should we just go? And she's like, I mean, whatever, let's just go. But the whole ride, bro, I've never been like...
Just because it was the wrong car?
Yeah,
it is sketchy. I'll tell you, though, it's happened to me before.
Like, no, that was one... Dude, the whole ride, I was like, I can no longer be in Houston Blicky-less. That's what I came to the conclusion.
I feel that, but also it is an interesting one like that. It happened to me when I used to drive Uber, where like for some reason my information got mixed up.
Yeah.
And like the color of my car was wrong and the license plate of my car was wrong. So people would be mad confused when I'd pull up.
Yeah.
They'd be like, is that you? You sure that's you? I'm like, it's me. And so I had, what I think happened is he has the BMW registered, but he took his other car out.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have them both registered.
That's what I figured, or it was something like, or probably like it's in the shop or something, or he just got this for.
Something like that. So that's, I get it, but it's kind of like if your names match up and they got you on their system, then you're good. They still have tracking. It's not nothing on that app is other than that information is tied to the vehicle. So it's not like Uber has a tracker on the specific car. They have trackers on your phone.
Yeah.
So it's like everything that would happen, you'll still be okay.
Yeah.
I know. It'll be okay, dog. You'll be okay.
But
you're going to survive.
I still felt like I can no longer be Blicky-less.
Well, what I will say.
Which you've been telling me for a year.
I have been telling you this, but what I will say, just because I want to be responsible, and in this time we got to, be thinking about people, get a blicky. Go to the shooting range and practice, learn what you're doing.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Take some courses, just kind of make sure that you don't, because the biggest problem, because I truly feel like this is your issue, a lot of people are just afraid of guns. Like, They're afraid of once they hold this thing, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what it's supposed to do. They don't know
I would
how
put
to
myself
feel
through all the
comfortable.
classes to even like be able to be like, okay.
And then afterwards, start putting that shit sideways. Start just, flipping that shit around. Once you know, you know what I mean? Once you know, just start just kind of like doing that spin thing. What I do recommend, one of the funnest things is like be in your room at the full body mirror.
Getting
and then
the switch.
Turn around. Around from the mirror and then like see as quick as you can, see how fast you can pull it on yourself. Like do like the, like Wild Wild West, like let's see how quick we can get the gun. That's good practice. Especially here, you got to make sure that at any moment you're able to just, get that shit ready off the hip, like before they get you type thing. Like you got to be like quick Matrix style with it. Practice yelling at people, flicking them off, and then pulling the gun out. For road rage incidents, that's one of the biggest pluses of having the gun with you, because pretty much you could be like, yo, fuck you, you stupid bitch, how you gonna like cut me off like that? And they'll be like, what you gonna do, honk honk honk? And then you pull the blicky out and they're like, okay. And the homeless people pull the blicky out just to show them, like when they're like whenever they're like, can I get some money, just like pull the blicky and be like, no, look like you're searching for money, but pull the blicky first and then be like, oh man, sorry dog, I ain't got none. But you still holding the blicky. And then they won't mess with you anymore and you keep on going. Just practical ways in Houston to use it. You know what I mean? Not to where you actually have to do anything with it, but what's the point of having a gun if you're never going to pull it on someone, right?
Hey, yo.
I like how I prefaced all of this by being like, go to gun safety. But once you've done that.
You just did an Andrew Tate, because someone's going to listen to that and be like, he's got a point.
Why would you have a gun if it's just going to sit somewhere?
Yeah.
Just collecting dust.
If I can't pull it on the ops, who can I pull it on?
Dude, op stuff has been going crazy. Let's get into a few other topics here. Some albums came out this week, and we haven't listened to them all. Or we haven't listened to it all, better yet said. There's actually been 2 albums that I guess are of importance that came out, which was the DJ Khaled album, because the entire industry's on it, and JID put out an album. I have heard a song off of the JID album. I have not heard the rest of the JID album. DJ Khaled's album has a lot of big names on it. Use This Gospel, which is Kanye West, Eminem.
Use
good
this
song.
gospel for protection.
God Did, great song, which is Rick Ross. Hove did. Keep Going, which is Lil Durk, Roddy Ricch, and 21 Savage, is a great song. They're really talking street shit. It's like whenever the previous DJ Khaled album came out, it was a Lil Durk, Lil Baby song that was so good. I don't know if it stemmed from that song, but it almost seemed like it did when it came to the rollout.
21.
That Lil Durk and Lil Baby did so good on that DJ Khaled song together that they did a whole project together after that. And that's where I'm starting to feel like a lot of these songs are like kind of re-embodying that feeling of before in music news. Because I'm looking at like what are the favorites and what people are looking to, and the favorites start falling off. Lil Durk's song is number 5. And that's when the stars on Apple Music, meaning most popular songs, stop. Because what happens right after that, you get a Quavo and Takeoff song.
Quavo!
Now, I don't know if you've heard the news that Offset has been suing his former label, QC, because
Quality
they've
Control?
been trying, and P from Quality Control, they've been in a legal battle because apparently they're trying to take money from his solo projects. So,
But I mean, were they under the QC label?
well, that's the thing, is I think it would make sense that the group MIGOS is under QC. Offset specifically probably has another
Record label
deal or something, or independent. You know what I mean? Possibly if you're already getting, if the label is pushing the MIGOS, right? And they're not really doing so anymore because you have Lil Baby who really needs to be pushing the Migos right now. Then people are knowing about you off of that promotion. That's the whole thing about a 360 deal, right? A 360 deal means they get a part of everything. They get a part of your music. They get a part of your merch. They get a part of your touring. They get a part of your everything.
Likeness.
They get a part of your brand deals. And that's why they'll push you. Like Lil Yachty was more than likely in a 360 deal. Probably still is. That's the reason he was in Target, Sprite. Like, the label wants to put you anywhere they can because they're going to get a piece of it. Mm-hmm. If the label is only dealing with your music, then that's all they're really going to push. And then from there, you use the leverage that you've gotten off of this music to go and make other forms of income. Yeah. You go get brand deals with your manager. Your manager's still going to get 10% or whatever anyway. Mm-hmm. So you go get these deals with your manager. You go get these sponsorships. You go get these touring packages. And now that's all y'all's money.
Yeah.
The label isn't involved in that. So that's where I'm wondering exactly what things mean as far as what contract he was in, what they actually are entitled to. Because if they're just entitled to MIGOS music, then when he does his own music, then that shouldn't necessarily...
Yeah, they need to leave him alone.
Then they shouldn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But they are. So that's been a big thing. They've been having a legal battle back and forth. And you've been seeing, like, QC was always seeming... Like, everyone loves the label until you don't love the label.
That's right.
And so, like, QC, they're all QC out. They're all, like, you know, QC the best, QC the gang, QC the label. Like, fighting... It was P from QC fighting Joe Budden at the fucking Dillard's when they were getting socks before that whole Migos everyday struggle situation happened, which is why this type of shit was happening. So it's like they're going up to bat for you when you're hot, and then once someone else is popping and things are kind of stale for you, then it's kind of like, all right, well, we're going to get whatever money we can off of you, but we're not pushing you or investing in you anymore. And that's kind of what it seems like the label game is.
Right.
With that, we're going to look into keeping up with that and see where that leads. But have you heard of the breakthrough artist, FN Meka?
No.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
AI rapper, FN Meka, is this digital project, this like animated rapper. And he's an AI rapper. So basically part of his algorithm is AI, artificial intelligence, that's creating this music. He recently got signed to Capitol Records.
Wait. So it's not a real person?
No, they signed an AI rapper, a robot rapper, if you will. And when this happened, news went crazy and everybody had an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically within the course of those days of it being released that Capitol Records signed FN Meka, this AI rapper, the backlash of just racial insensitivity, like, came flooding in, because it'd be like it's all cartoon shit.
Yeah.
So it'd be like this. It's a black rapper with like half robot face and like green dreads and face tats, and then there's like a post and it's like, man, fuck police brutality, and the FN like the AI rapper is getting beat by the police, but it's an animation.
Yeah.
So it's like, in everyone's eyes, it's a bunch of white people in suits being like, what would black people do?
Yeah.
Let me put all of my, because it says the N-word, and it's like, let me put all of my, like, fetishizing things about, your rapper will never actually get arrested unless you make them get arrested in this digital space or whatever. So it seemed like, yo, that's mad insensitive, and like...
That's super wild.
And so it didn't take even a week before Capitol Records says, hey, we're dropping the project. We're cutting ties with FN Meka. So it didn't take less than like a week before the first AI rapper to get signed got dropped. So it's such a weird situation that we're dealing with now, because that was my fear, is that our people, is the music so lackluster to people that they feel like it has no real emotion, that it could be automated, basically.
I think people that don't understand art and why people like certain artists. Yeah. Because I think when that's like, if you want to get really like annoying and pretentious about it, that's where you could be like, well, you know, that's what they do with all these industry plants. They make, you know, these pop songs that don't have any substance, and people eat it up anyway because that's what the people are going to do. It's like the equivalent of making like a random Marvel movie.
Right, but it's like, if it's not good enough...
But I think you still need a face behind it.
Right, especially now. At least give us the face of who created this AI.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they try to do like some of the Gorillaz type thing, but this isn't the way to do it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how true it is, but then reports of like a rapper being like a more low-key underground rapper being like, hey,
that was me.
No, he basically said that they used his voice. They used his voice and they were going to pay him. They're talking about equity and all this stuff. And then after the songs blew up, they just kind of ghosted him.
Dang.
So he was like, yo, they used me. They hoed me. Like, and this was after everything was popping off.
Yeah.
About the whole Capitol Records signing and stuff like that. 50 Cent came out saying he didn't like it. Diddy came out saying he didn't like it. A lot of people had gripes. It never seemed like anybody had. I never saw anybody being like, yo, song's kind of hard though. Like no one really was saying that. I mean, obviously the songs had to have been like popular enough for them to for him to get signed. Basically, like these artificial intelligence based songs must have been, you know, good enough for maybe TikTok to get onto it or something like that.
Yeah.
But like as far as the grand scheme of things, it's just not a good look. It just seems like more like hip hop comes from like struggle and pain and circumstances in which like you had to overcome, which robots don't have that. They're just kind of created. Yeah. So it kind of seems like you can manufacture those emotions, and that's not authentic. And people do sense authenticity. I feel like there's a group of people that may consume anything, but a lot of people really want to find this authentic.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
authentic feeling behind it. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the music space with that. If they're gonna try to introduce more, so maybe they won't be so outright and be like, we're having an AI rapper. I think we'll step away from writers and have AI writers. So like you'll have like a machine when you're having.
It's just gonna spit out your lyrics.
Well,
your bars.
Whenever you're having like some sort of creative block, it'll basically like create some beats that are like artificially intelligence based and some lyrics that are artificial intelligence based to make you be like, oh, that's a good idea, and then you can work off of it. You know what I mean? And like if you own the generator, then maybe you don't have to put writing credit. Then that can be like the ultimate ghostwriter. You know what I mean? If it's something that like is yours and possibly, let's just say it only artificial intelligences like it only gets pulled from information from your songs. So like maybe it's only stuff that you would say. Only things that like you would think. Because instead of pulling from like this huge pool of other rappers, it could just be pulling from your discography. You feel me? So I think that might be where things head in the future. But let's just briefly get into the last thing that we're going to talk about today, which is Andrew Tate one more time. He got pulled off of everything.
Okay.
He got pulled off of YouTube, TikTok. He got pulled off of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, of course, because Facebook, Instagram are the same thing. But it's interesting because it's like he's not the one posting the content that people want to take down. In his farewell thing, he talks about the content he's put out, which is mainly just pictures of his life with poetry as captions. He's not saying anything wild in any of those posts.
But it's what he says in like other people's platforms that get.
But that's not his account. Like his
no, I know, no, right.
Isn't breaking policy rules. It seems like, and I'm also understanding that it's a private company and they can choose to do what they want and like have the content that they want. But I don't think personally that's going to stop the content or even stop the message. I think someone else will replace him with that messaging. What it will stop is the conversation of people being able to say, hey, yo, you know, I know some people might think what he's saying has some validity, but what about the people that are there to say, hey, yo, he's wildin' and here's why. And creating those conversations of being like, hey, we can have a differing of an opinion and have a conversation about it instead of just being like, because you have a differing of an opinion, we need to like stop
silence
it.
You.
Yeah, and you need to not. Because like everything is cyclical. The way that we like think is cyclical, the way that we act is cyclical. We look at when we're kids, we think that we're being like innovative, and then we do all these crazy things to basically be above and beyond. Then we get older and we're like, yo, you know what? Now I kind of understand when my parents were a little more moderate and more normal. And then we look at the younger kids like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
And then if you never had that switch, you just turn into a crazy person.
Right. But then you see the young kids as you're older and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? And you're like, oh, they're just discovering themselves like we did.
Yeah.
And it becomes a whole cycle. It's like every person, it's like this back and forth cycle. You see it all the time. Like all the old stuff comes back and it's kind of like, first everyone wants to go futuristic. And everyone's like, you don't have this. I have the newest of the new. You don't even know what this is about. I have such new stuff. Then it comes to the point where everyone has such new stuff that you're like,
Yo, let me go back.
Let me go back. I have the old stuff. You don't even know about this. Then you go back to old music. You don't even know about this old band. Then all the old bands come up. All the old styles come up. People resurface that. And it cycles up again. When it was like the 80s, people were like playing weird-ass synths and dressing like robots and shit.
Yeah.
And then now we're wearing flannels and, you know. Right. So it's like everything got futuristic and then it rewinds. So it's like this kind of cycle. And if you just erase history... Mm-hmm. People were like, yo, this has never happened before. Like, nah, it's fucking happened. Yeah. But y'all erased history.
Baggy jeans are back.
Right. This has happened. Y'all just erased history. And now y'all don't want to look back and be like, hey, look at this example that, like, this has happened before.
When do you think we're going to start putting the Nelly...
No, that's over.
You don't think
that
it's
is over?
Back?
That's not coming back.
I don't know, bro.
That's not coming
back. I know.
Back.
I'm just kidding.
That's done. That's a wrap for that. But... I don't know. It's just that weird thing where you're kind of like, okay, we look at, like, as we're getting older, it started to just feel weird. You're like, all right, I get it a little more now. Mm-hmm. I get why we were so wild. I get why our parents weren't. And I get why that's just kind of how things evolve. And the problem is just the silencing and this erasing of stuff. Because if you never get to look back and be like, yo, like, we bombed another country, then we may think that it's just, like, cool to do it again. We don't get to look back and be like, hey, remember, like, things that we did that were wild? This is why not. I mean, slavery, right? Everyone's like, man, that shit was so long ago. It's like, really, first of all, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah. Second of all, if you don't see what can happen and what humans can do, then you'll just fall into the same place. Do it again. Yeah. Because, like, that's just what humans do. But, I don't know. I don't think that Andrew Tate should be silenced. I don't think he should be removed from platforms like that. I think that there should be another way. But at the end of the day, they're private companies, so they can do whatever they want. Fit. Yeah. So, like, what do you think about that whole thing?
I mean, it's hard, right? Like, as obviously, like, I don't agree with what it's saying, but also the way it's being handled, where it's like, if you're gonna,
do you not though? I feel like sometimes you agree when you're alone in your room.
No.
Like when she's driving a little too crazy.
No, I'm the one that I drive worse than my wife. Stop.
I'm just saying, dog.
And I don't even have a Bugatti. Okay.
What color is it though?
Oh, it's white. No, I don't know. I think it's like, it just doesn't make sense if his personal page is like not breaking any guidelines, right?
It's hard to find what pinpoint this other stuff, right?
Right. So it's like, why don't you silence the? I would say if you're gonna go off the it's because he's like misogynistic, blah 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 blah, then you silence the accounts that are posting that message. Why are you silencing the person? Because like I think about like when they did it to Trump, right? It was his account that was saying the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, I don't know.
But the weird thing,
just random segue. When we finally landed in Destin, Southwest made us wait in the airport for an hour. Like in the plane, we waited for an hour before they let us out. And the dude next to me was on Truth Social IRL.
I mean, do you not be on Truth Social?
No, bro. He was like this old white man on Truth Social.
Well, of course, you got to get the truth. I mean, like, how else are you going to, like, I'm confused on what.
Stop.
Like, I'm on Truth right now, dog. Like,
are you retruthing?
I'm retruthing right now. What did Donald Trump say? Make America great again. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Eric Trump drops major news about FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, says the Trump. Yeah. I don't get on here at all. I think I just follow Trump and like a few other people, so it's all just propaganda.
No. This man was like legit following people, retruthing at the airport.
No, I mean, hey.
Truthing himself at the airport like, hey, yo.
No one's going to talk about it. who knows how big truth might really be? I mean, for one,
Oh, because it doesn't have the bots.
it doesn't have the bots.
Allegedly.
It doesn't have the. So it's kind of like the New York Times or the Houston Chronicle or whatever is the newspaper, but people are reading these smaller newspapers, just no one's talking about it. Not to say that people aren't engaging in it and people aren't like getting information from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not being put out there like that. So it's like, I don't know how many people are truly on truth.
You don't know how many people are truthing?
Yeah, I really don't know how many people are truthing out here. Mark Zuckerberg went on Rogan. That was I haven't watched the whole thing. I just watched some clips. But it's kind of wild for him to put himself in that situation.
Because he has to talk, and I don't think he's a person.
He talks way better than Elon Musk.
Did he?
Yeah, when he has a conversation, like you feel like he's a normal person.
I don't know, bro.
Listen to him at least on a clip.
Okay,
it feels like a little more normal. Like it feels like you can have a conversation with him.
The suck, it just like out in the wild, just doesn't look like a person.
Doesn't look like it, but here he was sitting down having the conversation with Joe.
Did he smoke weed?
I didn't watch the whole thing, and everyone asked that. I doubt it happened again. I think after the whole Elon thing, because it was such a big deal. I never realized how big of a deal it would truly be. It was like, yeah, cool, your shareholders think you're wild. Everyone in SpaceX and Tesla had to start getting drug tested randomly for like a month because they have national contracts. So it's not federally legal.
That's right.
So it was like legal in that state, but he has national contracts with NASA and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, he had to get drug tested after that for a period of time. So did all of his employees. They had to go through a whole bunch of shit to get, like, all that back in order off just smoking weed on live like that. So, I doubt that Zuckerberg's going to do that with Meta right now. Who knows what contracts they got. But yeah, keep on keeping on. Keep looking.
Keep truthing.
Keep truthing. Keep on seeking the truth. Tell your Theas that we're out here wilding, speaking for them, speaking the truths.
Yeah. Put some respect on Hove.
Hove did.
And
And another one.
We the best music.
And we out.